Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Kansas Speedway. My camera's doing all kinds of nonsense. I don't know what it's doing right now. I need to fix that. But thank you for joining us for this practice race at Kansas Speedway. I have the incredible Rob Roeder, joining me in the booth today.
Thanks for having me, Kyle.
So we should have some fun tonight. So let's get a camera view that's not on you, because that's why the camera's doing something stupid right now.
Well, I'll go ahead and apologize for that one right off the bat then, I suppose.
Nobody's on track yet, so. I hear people.
Looks like we'll have one lap under yellow before we go green. It's only a 50-lap race, Kyle. So I'm anticipating a couple of yellows here. Probably won't have a too terribly long of a run, so I think we're going to see a lot of guys running right up next to that wall tonight.
There we go. Okay, now I got the camera situated. I'm like, who is that? I know who it is. I can't think of their name. All right. So 50-lap shootout at Kansas. We've kind of put together our own fixed setup to encourage better racing. So we're going to see how that goes. And maybe if we need to improve on it for the race on Sunday night, we will do that. But we should expect some good stuff. Looks like the pole winner did not get into the race.
Rob, are you in with Kyle? Yes, sir, I am.
So they're heading off pit road to get racing.
All right, God, William missed the start. Do I start the race?
What do you think?
Off to a little bit of a rocky start here, but I'm sure we'll get it sorted out.
No, I think you started from 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, I hope they can get started in the race, even if they are at the end of the line. We want everybody in the race.
You started about 10 seconds behind Wendell.
All these cars are looking beautiful tonight.
They're looking nice, and looks like we got Chad Oxendine starting on the inside line here. We'll see how well he can get through 1 and 2 on the restart, because that outside line is definitely going to be the dominant line as we move forward here.
It is. That's pretty much the basis behind this setup, getting that high line rolling. I ran some practice laps myself in the earlier session, and boy, was the track slick. So I don't know if it's like that still, but that should be exciting. So here they go. They're going green.
Looks like Boyd's going to jump to the outside right away. Didn't quite have the run, though.
Nope, going to pop right back in line. He's actually going to lose his spot. Well, he's not. He started 4th. That's a lie. They're already looking 3 wide, though, going through the middle of 1 and 2. The 98's going to go back up, and he's just going to tuck in right behind those 2 leaders. The leaders are side by side down the back straightaway, though. So who's going to fight and who's going to get the lead at the line? 54
well,
is high.
I think that inside line's going to work pretty well on 1 and 2 on that restart. I just don't see it working coming out of 3 and 4 unless we get up to speed here.
Yeah, and definitely later in the run. But the 5 is going to take the lead for the first lap. And they are right next to each other up against the wall. Nobody wants to be low. Everybody wants to be high. Got some shuffling going around there in the back. And the 5's lost the lead. 7's looking to the inside.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard to pass on fresh tires on the inside, Kyle. What you're going to have to do is, if you're going to get around them, you got to get the run off the corner, hopefully get to the outside. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till the tires start to wear. You're going to have to try a bit of a slide job on them, I think.
Yeah, we better see some slide jobs from these drivers, because it's not going to be an easy time getting around anybody.
17 could be patient in 4th place there, but he's going to give the outside of the 7, just trying to get to the inside of the 98 here.
Looks like we got a battle there in the back with the 39 and the somebody else. I can't tell. 39's on the inside. It's with the 11. That's the 39 of M. Bud, which I guess he's a random or somebody new.
And well, that's the thing. It's hard to tell, Kyle, but it seems like if you're going to make the pass happen on the bottom, your best bet is to take it all the way to the line. Seems like if you try to run that middle lane, it kills your momentum off more than you make up in the center of the corner if you're all the way on the line.
Yeah, it's amazing how much of a difference you have being all the way up against the wall and even just having your left side right underneath that
1798 and the 39er on the wall. 17's going around, 39's around. The yellow flag is out.
Let's get a good replay of that. Let's see what happened. Oh, 98 and 17 got in the wall. 17 got off the wall, got into the 39. That caused a big mess of things. 39 got turned around. So nothing too bad.
Yeah, it looked like the 98 took it in real deep there, a little too deep, and the 17 just kind of followed him in. You see that happen a lot of times when guys are gauging how they're going to take their corner entry or corner exit based on what another driver's doing and kind of follow them into a bad line.
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised that happened. You're trying to run up against the wall. You're trying to get as high as you can. Somebody's bound to get into it just a little bit too much.
And Kyle, I'm not sure what the fast repair policy is here in this practice race. Do you know what it is?
I do not know. They may or may not have any. See if anybody's going to come down pit road. There's somebody going down pit road right now. I can't quite tell who it is. He's actually going to get his car towed on pit road. Head to the garage.
Boy, do we have any fast repairs for this race here?
I guess no response from Boyd there, but it looks like everyone's coming down pit road, Kyle. Let's see who can get out first.
Yep, everybody. It looked like Boyd wanted to kind of make it look like he wasn't going, but then he went.
Kyle, is Rob in the booth with you?
Yeah, he is.
Do we have any fast repairs in this race, Boyd?
Seems like Boyd may not be able to hear me here, but that's all right. Looks like we had one car take 2 tires. Looks like the rest are going to take 4.
I just got a message. No fast repairs on intermediates. I don't think they can hear us. I think it's got something to do with the fact that I have the, like when I'm doing this, I don't have anything up for, like all the nonsense on the screen. Like it's just the replay. Like I don't have play pause on the screen or anything.
Man, I just passed in the pit.
Makes sense.
Damn, I ain't seen him in a minute. How you been, bud?
Looks like a little old camaraderie here.
Pink, the CL1 you got on Facebook.
And the 62 took 2 tires to beat everyone off pit road here. Kyle, what do you think that's going to mean as we move forward? They only ran like 7 laps on their current tires, so do you think it's going to be big enough of a difference?
I think he might lose the lead here early, but I think he'll even out pretty quickly. I don't think it's going to be too big of a difference. It's not like he's got super old tires, but I think there's enough there, enough wear there that the newer tires will take advantage of it.
So, but yeah, man, I'll send it to you.
Especially if he starts on the bottom.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think starting on the bottom is probably a death sentence for him getting started here as those guys get lined up on the top. But if he can start on the top and hold them off coming out of 2, he may stand a pretty good chance on those tires since it's so difficult to pass on the inside.
Yeah, that top line is going to be his best friend.
I see your Facebook's doing pretty good with the views. I've been watching them. I like that Rick fest. Dude, that game is a blast, man. I had so much fun with that game. I've owned it so long, but, man, they've come a long way.
So we've got Sean Dower in first place. He's a person trying out here. Chad Oxendine in second. Wendell Elliott in third. Both of them are in the league. Dustin Sizemore, who's trying out tonight, in fourth. Michael Budd in fifth, also trying out. Joshua Nelson lining up sixth here. Brendan Jenks, William Morris, Mark Strixell. Trying to figure out where Boyd is. Looks like he's marked back in 11th. Not sure if he was caught up in that last wreck or not, Kyle.
I know he kind of fell back a little bit, it looked like, during that run, but maybe he just had to get some repairs done, so who knows.
It's crazy. It's like you got to buy some gold stars or something, and you get like $195 for $1.99. And so yeah, somebody's, I guess, bought 2 gold star packs and sent them to me. I don't know.
We still have 2 cars on pit road as well. Brian Grubbs is on pit road in the 98, as well as Oliver Cordell. Looks like they're still trying to get some repairs on those cars from that last incident.
Yeah, I know they were the ones hitting into the wall, so they've probably got the most extensive repairs to get done. We'll see if they can get it done.
Yeah, I won't hold you up there, Chad. I've got right size on.
Hot 10 full.
Just kind of waiting for him to shut up so we can not have to talk over him.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
I could kind of turn him off, but I don't want to.
Coming into the green flag here. Kyle, take it away.
Going on green, Chad.
Oh, whoops. I am way too far back. There we go.
Well, I'll take it then.
All right, we're good now.
All right.
All right, they're green. 62 is going to get a pretty decent launch. He's starting on the inside. The 54 is keeping with him, though. Fourth place.
I don't think that's going to be enough on 2 tires, Kyle.
No, it's
I don't think
probably
that
not.
launch is going to be enough.
Although he did get in front of him. Let's see if he can hold it off a turn 2. See what the 54 can do. He's got the 5 right behind him, and he's going to hold it all the way down the back
They are
straightaway.
3 wide behind him here. Looks like Nelson in the middle, 7 car on the inside there. They're going to get it settled out before they get to 3.
That 54 is looking to the inside of the 62, and he's going to actually get him, it looks like. He's still there. Oh, he's clear. They're clear. 54 took the lead. That 5 is looking.
Huge run down the inside.
Oh, he's going to get into him.
62 might have got into the wall there.
Yeah, that 62 is getting eaten up.
Sorry, man. I brought an extra pair of shorts with me.
Now that he got himself out to the outside, get a couple laps on the tires, he might be able to settle out here for a little bit, but definitely not a good idea to take 2 if the idea was to keep the lead.
I think it just depends on where he was when that caution came out. If he was pretty far back there and just wanted to get some track position, I think that worked out for him. But if he was already in 3rd, well, he probably would have been better off just taking 4. Uh-oh, looks like...
Oh, the 7 almost slid up there.
7 slid up there a little bit. Looks like the 51's working his way through the field. He's working his way around the 11 right now, looking underneath of the 11, and now the 7.
Yeah, the 7 got slowed down there when he had to avoid running into that car on the outside of him. Now it looks like Boyd was trying to take advantage, but that inside line just doesn't have it on the early part of the run, Kyle.
No, he is still under the 11, though. I think he's got a fast enough car to get by them. It's just going to take some time. He's going to slip up there right in front of the 11. See if the 11 wants to do anything.
It's a big run off the corner.
Yeah, that's that run we've been talking about, though. That's what you get from that high line. But now that the 51 is up there, we'll see if he can hold it. He's still there.
Looks like Nelson's going to make it 3 wide on the inside here. It's going to be sketchy coming down the front straightaway. They get it sorted out.
Still double wide back there, though.
I think Boyd will take off turn 2 here as the 11 washes up. That was scary.
That 14 of Joshua Nelson, I know, caused quite a few problems for drivers during the Daytona race last night.
Yeah, there was a little bit of talk about that. It was kind of interesting around the league. I mean, it was one of those situations where, you know, it's just so hard to push guys, and you start getting into corner entry, and if you're still on a guy, they're going to go around. I know he had a couple accidents like that. I know I had one myself. It's just something that happens, but looks like so far here tonight on the intermediate track, he's been holding his lane pretty well. Hasn't caused any trouble, so always nice to see a guy rebound.
Yep, he's looking pretty good. Just kind of had his stats
and
up there.
after you say that, he's wrecking
and then he got into the wall. Yep, he's had about 219 starts though, so he's still pretty new to this. So I guess we'll just have to see as he progresses through his career if he can get any better about not pissing people off.
looked like he got in the wall while he was still on the back straightaway there. It wasn't even when they got to the corner. I think he just kind of got sucked up in there and couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, we're gonna go backwards here. See what happened. Oh, he actually looks like he got into the wall going into the corner and bounced off, got into what looked like the 8, I believe.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to both of those cars for sure.
Yep. He went straight to pit road, so he's going to deal with that. Who's the leader? 54. With that 54 and the 5 back to 1st and 2nd. No surprises there. Let's see where the 62 is sitting.
Looks like he fell back to 5th.
5th or 6th, maybe, yeah.
6th place, yeah.
So definitely those old tires did not fare him too well.
Yeah, you got to think that if these guys are paying attention, they'll notice that and realize that 2 tires just isn't going to win you the race. I don't think they're going to win you the race, even if you only run a couple laps on these tires. So I expect everyone to be down pit road this time.
Oh yeah,
and taking 4.
He lost the lead after the first lap. He had it all the way through, about halfway through the lap, but he lost it through 3 and 4. So you definitely, even if 1 lap's left, you can't. You got to work really hard if you're going to, but it's not going to be easy to hold the lead for 1 lap. We'll see what he does this time. It does also look like he's got some damage there on the right side. I don't know if that was before or after. That was definitely slowing him down.
Who has the damage, Kyle?
62. And the 58.
I think he might have caught the wall at one point there while we were taking a look at the action in the back of the pack there.
And it does appear he's taken 4 tires.
The race off pit road. Looks like I believe that's the 54 gets off first there.
Yep, 54, 5, 7, 39, 62, 8, 11, 51, 21, I think.
Don't work all that well for very long.
Didn't look like anybody took 2 tires there, so everyone should be set moving forward. I am surprised to see Boyd Wayne back there, or Boyd Hogan rather, in 10th place. I would expected to see him a little closer to the front at this point.
Well, he definitely gets past people. I guess his crew's just not putting in the work today.
Yeah, and that can be a lot of things. Maybe he's just not getting into his pit stall very cleanly. Like we mentioned before, it's just so hard to pass that once you're stuck back there, track position's everything.
Oh, yeah. Got to work at it. He's been working at it on the bottom, but he can do it. It's going to take some time, though. And we've only been going for 19 laps, so. And had about 2 cautions. Pretty much just from people getting into the wall, running that high line. So, no surprises there. That's just something they're going to have to work on.
Yeah, that sounds about right here. I mean, this seems like it's probably just going to continue that way.
Yo.
Looks like Joshua Nelson has joined. Let's ask Joshua a question here since we got him. Looked like he got into the wall before you got to corner entry. What exactly happened there?
Well, I think suspension part. I think some in the front right. Some broke. Pretty sure I couldn't keep it off the wall. Try to keep from damaging anybody's chances of the race today, and just couldn't hang on to it. Just couldn't do it, man.
All right. Well, we're glad to see you're okay.
Yep. 100K down the drain.
Yeah, it's not yours. It's Boyd's money anyway, so I guess it's all right.
Daddy Boyd. So, yeah, no fast repairs.
Hey Chad, check your messages on the forums, man.
Well, you see everyone's already double file here. Clearly they're ready for the restart, even though we still have 1 more lap to go.
Yeah, NASCAR doesn't want them to go yet. They're ready, though. Somebody's straggling back there, but everybody else is ready.
Nelson, it seemed to us while we were watching earlier that the guys out front were able to get single file pretty quickly. Back there from about 5th or 6th on back, it became more difficult and there was more side-by-side racing. Is that what you were experiencing? And if so, why do you think that is?
Yeah, everybody was trying to get in the 7th place. That way they could watch the leaders drive away, you know, whatever. I started in the back. I didn't qualify. So, yeah, big mistake on my part today. I want to thank my sponsors, Ford and my owner, Boyd, for getting me started today. And, you know, that first caution that came out, if those squids could have just stayed in the wall and not came down and destroyed the race car the first time, I think we'd be in the top 5 right now.
All right. Well, coming out of turn 4, getting ready for the restart, Kyle.
Yep, they're going green shortly. 54 is going to try and maintain his lead for now. Looks like the 62 is in 5th at the moment. We'll see if those 4 tires help him out this time. And they are green.
5 got a great restart there.
They both got a good restart. Those top 4 guys are pretty much right next to each other. The 54 is actually going to get the lead now. Going into turn 1, he's taking the bottom.
Yeah, it looked like the 5 was concerned about getting black flagged for jumping the restart there, and he backed out a little bit.
I guess it's always a possibility. He was pretty good, though. He was still behind him, so he would have been fine. And that 54 moves straight to the top. Nobody wants to be on the bottom. 7's still looking down there, but that 5's going to maintain his position up high.
And through 1 and 2 here, you'd anticipate the 5's going to have the run. We'll see what the 7 can give him, but looks like he's just going to concede the spot so we can get back up top here.
Looks like the 51's moved his way to 6th already, and they're double wide right behind him. That 62's looking. He's actually going to move down and block him, though, as they cross the start-finish line for the 23rd time.
Almost halfway through this race here, and I'm not sure we've seen anybody that just strikes me as the car that's going to win the race. I think we do have 2 or 3 guys up front that have established themselves as contenders, though.
Yeah, that 54 has definitely maintained the lead for most of this race, but I think that 5, if he can just get there, he's probably got something for him, but they all look pretty even to me.
And they just got stacked up behind Boyd Wayne there. Looks like the 62 tried to take it to the inside, started drifting up, had to back out big time, and that got in the way of the 17. Everyone had to check up.
Look at that run the 17 gets go right by the 62. I mean, there was just no problem at all doing that. I know you said they got slowed up a little bit, but they were next to each other going into the turn. That 17 just took off.
It looks like Joshua Nelson's made his way back out onto the racetrack here. He's going to try to log some laps.
Yeah, that's a pretty beat-up race car, so we'll see what he can do. Practice is always going to be helpful, but that 51's still leading.
Yeah, and last time by, they ran the 54 and the 5 ran about the same lap time. 54 is just a little bit faster, but those guys seem to be pretty much just trading blows here. Nobody's really gaining or losing anything.
No, the 5's fallen about half a second behind now, but not much more. Those first 3 guys are pretty, even 4 guys are spaced pretty evenly apart now. 5's way up against that wall, though. He's working it.
He's trying to get everything he can, for sure. So that last lap by was the halfway point of the race. Got 25 laps to go.
Looks like they're a lot more singled out this time now, as compared to some of the previous ones, previous runs.
Yeah, they are definitely a bit more spread out. I think that part of that's just a product of having a few guys out of the race now as well, especially some of those mid-pack guys.
Oh yeah. That 54
Looks like
he's kind of
he's
pulling
about
away.
half a tenth faster right now. So yeah, he is pulling away ever so slightly.
He might be the guy to beat.
We have the 62 spinning on coming off turn 2 there. Looks like he's got to park down on the inside. No yellow flag here. Looks like he's just going to retire it. We got one down the front straightaway as well. The 8 cars around.
Well, it looks like the 62 got into the wall going through turns 1. Just pushed up a little bit too high. And that pretty much sent him around.
Yeah, and looks like Boyd Wayne turned to the 8 coming out of turn 4 there as well.
Let's get a replay of that. Oh, yeah, he did. Turned him right around. I don't know what that was about. He said he was just checking up and he wasn't expecting it, I guess.
Yeah, if I had to guess, the 8 cars coming out of the corner, maybe he was carrying a little more momentum than he anticipated. Had to just breathe the gas just a little bit coming off to avoid the wall, and when he did that, Boyd Wayne wasn't prepared for it. Got up into him, turned him around. Looks like both cars got out of it without much damage, though, so that's the good news.
Yeah, I think the 51 is going to have to be more worried about the right front. Having some aero damage, slowing him down, but nothing too bad. I know he was working on the 8. He was a little bit back, though, so he obviously caught up to him going down that back straightaway to be right up on his bumper through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and you gotta wonder how much of it is the 8 car just having to just breathe it a little bit on corner exit. How much of it is Boyd just trying to gain that track position, knowing that we only have about 20 laps left in the race. And as I say that, the 17 car just hit the 15 coming to pit road, and that damage is that's gonna hurt a little bit as well. It's probably take him longer to repair it on pit road now.
Well, we can go pull up some stats here.
Hey, can I get a penalty cleared? Oliver just drove into me at 7.6 miles an hour.
Thanks for the race, guys.
We'll look at some stats here for the 51 while they're on pit road. We know he's a very aggressive driver. He's at 31 wins. He's actually got a little over 200 starts now. But he's got 31 wins and 75 top fives. And his average finish is about 10th. And he's leading laps like it's nobody's business. So we know he's an aggressive driver and he is going to do whatever it takes. He doesn't want to slow down for anything.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've known him for a long time, and there's one thing that's a huge strength for him, and that's that he learns very quickly. You know, he gets to a new racetrack, he picks it up quicker than anybody I know, and that's a huge strength for him. So, you know, I look forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do as the season moves on here.
Looks like he's straggling off of pit road, so he's going to have some work to do.
No doubt he repaired the damage there.
Nothing too bad, but it is metal. It's not easy to fix it.
Once again, 54 comes off in first place. I believe the 7 was third, was he not? When they came down pit road?
Who was?
7? I think he was third when they came down. Looks like he might have picked up a spot.
Yeah, the 5 was second, so he's definitely picked up something. I think he was running third or fourth, though. Looks like the 51's trying to get a spot back or something.
I think he's just voicing a little displeasure with the 17 there for the contact that happened on the entry to pit road.
Oh, I didn't go back far enough. Oops.
That's another thing with Boyd. You know, he's an aggressive driver. He doesn't like when he ends up being contacted by people, and he's not afraid to let people know. So sometimes that may rub people the wrong way, but it's also a hell of a lot of fun to watch.
Yes, it is. So we should be going one to go to green this time by. They're all ready to go, that's for sure.
Sounds like I've been missing a lot.
That would be Cody Whip. Yes, sir. You a little late to the party here. Looks like Boyd Wayne is stopped in 3 and 4. I think he's just letting another car by that he needs to let by here. Yeah, now he's up to speed. Boyd Hogan, rather. Gotta get used to saying that name correctly.
Yeah, I know. I do that all the time. And we are 1 lap to green this time. That 7 will be starting on the outside this time. We'll see if the 5 can do anything about the 54 now that they're on the same lane. Maybe he can get around him this time.
Well, I think this is going to be an interesting restart. These guys are going to be restarting with about 16 laps to go. And, you know, that outside line seems like once you get down to turn 3 and 4, you have the speeds build up in the car, the tire pressure start going up. That outside line is where it's at. So if the 7 can hang to the outside of the 54, by the time they get to turn 3 and 4, we might have ourselves quite the interesting race for the lead. And of course, like you mentioned, you have the 5 there, and who knows what he's going to do on the restart since we're getting close to the end. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, it was always easier for me to start right behind the leader, because then you can just kind of go with them. You're not trying to look over where you can't really see them.
Yeah, no doubt. Much easier when you can just kind of roll up on the bumper and see what's going on.
So here we go.
Oh, they got them stacked up big time there. The 54
spun his tires.
Just did not go.
He spun his tires, it looked like.
They are 4 wide as they head towards turn 1. This is about to get into.
Oh, the 5's going to get turned, and he's going to get into the 39. There's a huge wreck.
Oh, man.
Looks like
and the 54
7
made it through. After the terrible restart, gets himself back to the lead.
Looks like the 7 had kind of forgotten there was people above him.
Well, you jerked it to the bottom like you was going and you let out of it.
Let's see what happened
You
here.
went to the apron and like let out, and that confused me. And before I could figure out what was going on, we were 4 wide.
Well, we knew it was going to get interesting, and we didn't know it was going to get that interesting, Kyle.
Looked like the 5 just was unaware there was somebody there.
Not like it was net code.
I didn't get nothing out of that.
I mean, it looked like they were going to get it sorted out, and then...
net code or something, 'cause,
yeah,
I
it
didn't
does
get
look
you.
like the 5
just went to the bottom.
kind of came up. I mean, it's just hard to run 4 wide, period.
Yeah,
It's hard
I
to
gotta
really
get from the
place
back
that
and
on
then
anybody,
the
but
left. I was must have been net code then.
if you have to pin it on someone, I think you got to put it on the 5. He had plenty of room to keep it further down.
William, you got me?
Yeah, I watched Chad's onboard, and I'm not entirely sure what happened because I couldn't hear any tire spin. He just wiggled and dropped off the track.
Cody's got it loaded up. That's what I like to see. Welcome, Cody, to the booth for the end of the race.
If they could have made that work, that would have been awesome to watch, though.
Yeah, that got me on the edge of my seat.
I know they were a little frustrated with it, but from up here, I wish we could see more of it.
So this is interesting. Looks like the 54 came down pit road. I'm not sure if that's because he had damage. I don't think if he did, it was very severe. But he gave up the lead to come down pit road. Looks like maybe get a little damage repaired and get 4 tires. It's going to shake things up at the front of this race, especially since most of these guys that are still out here really haven't been top 5 cars all race long.
Looks like the 11 is going to take the lead this time.
Yeah, Wendell, I just looked at a replay and it looked like you got in the back of me and turned me.
With 15 to go, that might put him in a good position.
I think it was 0 or nothing.
Yeah, depending on how the yellow flags fly here, I do think the 54 still has a chance at it with how fast he was.
It's like you started and when you started, you went to the left and you got out of it again. That's what got us 3 wide or 4 wide there.
Yeah, look at the replay when you get finished. I don't know what it was.
That 11 is popping all over the place right now. Now everybody's...
We are seeing a fair amount of lag there out of the 11, which is kind of odd. He's been pretty stable all night, so
yeah,
gotta wonder what's going on there.
Who's that right behind him? A 17? We're going to switch to him so we don't have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's the 17 of Oliver Cordell, who, if you remember, got in the wall really early in the race. You got to wonder how much damage is on that car. How much were they able to get it repaired? Is it actually competitive for these last about 11, 12 laps we're going to have here?
Well, we haven't really seen much of the 11, so that's going to be interesting to see. And actually, now that I look at it, the 51's back there in 4th.
Yeah, and starting on that outside line could be an advantage as long as Oliver Cordell and the 17 car gets a good restart. That's going to be key for Boyd Hogan here. If he doesn't, then he's going to be swallowed back and stuck in that traffic, and then it's going to be a tough moving forward from there, especially with so little laps.
You got the 58 sitting in 3rd. Haven't seen much of him all day. So there's the 5 and the 54, the 7, the 39. All guys that have been up front have now moved to the back. So it's kind of flip-flopped the field a little bit. So this should be interesting.
Well, I'm going to go out on a little bit of a limb here, Kyle, and say that we're not done with the yellow flags, having all the fastest guys at the back here.
No, I don't think we are. That was the first caution from somebody not getting into the wall, so we'll see what happens.
You know, we haven't seen much out of that 58, which you just mentioned, but he seems to have the cleanest race car in the top 5 right now.
That old school Chevrolet.
Yeah, there's not a scratch on it. The 11 looks pretty good, too. I know the 17's got a little damage on it, but it'll be interesting to see how much of a difference that's going to make here.
I don't think the 51 cares if he has damage. He's going to go for it no matter what.
Well, if you've ever known Boyd Hogan, you know he's going for it even if he's running on 4 cylinders. So we'll see what he's got here.
And he could probably win it with 4. All right. right, so we should be going green this time. And the 11 is going to take an early jump to the lead this time. That's the first time we've seen that.
Yeah, 17's perfectly clear here as well. Looks like the 51 of Boyd Hogan is going to get himself to third place here.
17's going to move to the bottom, block that 58, opening the door there for the 51. He's going to actually move right back up in front of him. Take that away from him. The 5 is looking.
A fantastic start by the 11 is going to put him in good position here if we don't get another yellow. But the 5 is going to get 3 wide coming off turn 4.
Oh boy, this is going to be interesting. 51's got the high.
Each other plenty of room here. The 11 doesn't seem like he has the speed. He's about to get run up on by all these guys behind him.
The 5 and the 58 touch there. They managed to keep it together. The 58's actually into the wall.
58's in the wall, and they go around the 8 and the 58.
Oh, he's about to drill the wall, and it cut out. That was very anticlimactic.
Hey, you know, sometimes those little technical hiccups happen.
Oh, boy. Well, that almost worked. But once again, that wall is eating people up. Just working it just a little bit too hard, it seems like.
Looked like the 58 got a little loose coming out of 2, and then he just misjudged the corner entry there, trying to get too much, got in the wall, and then the 8 had absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's him and the 5 got into each other coming off of turn 2, so that probably set him up for the mishap going into turn 3, trying to gather it up.
I don't know if you noticed, but it's working out pretty good for the 54.
Yeah, and he decides to stay out there. I'm not sure about that decision.
Yeah, 3 guys coming down pit road right now that I know of.
He's only got a couple green flag laps on his tires.
Yeah, early in the run, though, that 62 took 2 tires, and that did not fare him too well. He fell back to, what, 6th, was it?
Yeah, he fell back to about 6, but at the same time, Kyle, he had it's about I think it was 7 laps on his tires when he came down and took 2. These guys only had 2 laps, so you're gonna have less of a disparity. The question is whether or not it's going to be too much of a disparity, and we saw how great of a restart the 11 got last time. If he gets that same kind of restart on the 54, I think he's going to be still in a tough spot, not necessarily in catching the 11, but with those guys on 4 tires behind him.
I don't know about y'all, but I've never had any good luck with 2 tires at any track.
Yeah, the tire wear is pretty extreme in iRacing, especially on the intermediate tracks. On the short tracks, it seems like you can get away with a little bit more, but 2 tires is always a tough call.
Got that 14 car limping around up there. Looks like he's going to head to pit road for his...
Yeah, he's a couple laps down.
Wonder if he'll try to repair any of that. His 39's heading down, too.
He came off pit road, the first car off pit road. He's going to be restarting 4th here. Fresh tires. We know that he's got damage. We know the 54 has damage. The 17 has damage. The 11 car, I believe, is still clean. So he had a strong mix of tires, damage, strategy, and speed between these guys. I mean, it's hard to tell. I think just about anybody can win it at this point.
I do believe the 17 actually came off pit road a little bit earlier than the 51 did. So
I thought the 17 stayed out, but I could be wrong on that one.
Nope, he pitted. The 11 and the 54 stayed out. So the front row is on old tires. Not super old, but they're old. But that's okay, because this is a practice race. Everybody wants to learn and see what their options will be during the race, the official race. You got a late race restart, maybe you can stay out, keep that position, and still have a chance.
Yeah, we haven't talked about him here in a few, but we have that 5 car back there in 5th. Not sure how bad his damage is, but he showed a ton of speed earlier. He could still be a factor here as well, Kyle.
Oh yeah, he was pretty much in second the whole time, right behind the 54. Maybe just a tad slower, but still capable of speed. Starting in the back of the pack this time. Maybe it'll calm him down a little bit. Doesn't look too bad on his body work. Looks like they got it repaired up pretty nicely.
Seemed like a little disagreement over who was starting and which line there. Not sure if that was just a little bit of gamesmanship or what.
Looks like the 11 wants the inside. So that 54 will take the outside. 17 in third on the inside, and the 51 on the outside of him in fourth.
Let's remember, the 11 went really, really early in the last restart. 54, he's a smart guy. I'm sure he saw that. We'll see if he's prepared for it here on the restart.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll see if they can keep it together and be side by side into turns 1 and 2. I think if they're side by side, that 54 will beat them. And the 11's going to get a really good jump that time, and the 17's actually going to be looking underneath the 54 now. That 51's up high.
Oh, 51 on the wall there.
Oh, am I like behind? Shit.
We got the 54 and the 17 side by side off of 2. Both of them appear to have a little more speed than the 11 at this point.
I'm not behind. We're good. But that 54 and the 17 are next to each other. That 11 is... He does not seem to have the speed.
The high side here. He's going to get there. They're going to be 3 wide down the front straightaway.
Yes, they are. And Boyd Wayne's got a front row seat for it. Or Boyd Hogan.
11 sliding up. He got it. He turned him.
Oh, he didn't hit the wall too hard.
Oh, he's not going to say that Boyd Hogan's in it. The 5 is in it. The 8 is in it.
Oh, man.
Fucking cars and can't nobody. God damn it.
You could just see that one coming, Kyle. You could just see it coming.
Man, that was awesome. I know they get all frustrated, but that was awesome.
Oh, and the 17 just turned the 11 coming out of turn 4. They're going down through the grass here.
Yeah, the 17 is... They're going to be careful there.
What's happening here?
He might need to slow it down. He's going to end up getting himself a penalty flying down pit road like that.
Yeah, that's certainly going to be a black flag for him, not just for an illegal pit road entry, but also for the speed. And I believe that yellow flag's going to end the race. Quite the wild turn of events there at the end. It would appear that the 17 feels like he has the car to beat the 11. He doesn't seem very happy about it.
Let's go back and get a good replay of that. See exactly what happened here. We were watching it live, but too much is going on. So they're going 3 wide. That 17's actually behind the 11. The 11's going to just enter a little bit too much. He just barely gets the 54. He's just working a little bit too much.
Yeah, he just took it in a little too hard, Kyle. He almost had it. He almost had it perfect, but from that line on the inside that far back, I mean, he was not going to be able to maintain on the inside. I mean, he had no chance of making it stick.
I don't think anybody's happy with anybody right now. That 17 and the 11 are really fighting each other. And now the 51's going to turn the 17.
Looks like everyone's getting a little bit of a piece of it here.
I'm not sure the 17 did anything too wrong there, so I'm not sure why anybody...
Oh, and they're still running into each other
heavens.
back here. I'd like to get an interview after this and figure out exactly why Boyd... I know Boyd's upset with the 17 for running into him when they were coming down pit road earlier. I'm not sure if this just carried over from that or if he has a larger issue at this point.
Some of these hits are just a little bit too much. I think they're just kind of having fun with each other at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think this
could be.
has anything to do with it.
That could definitely be this. Yeah, everyone's running into everybody. I think this is just the end of a practice session with a lot of guys having some fun. That's a 17. Absolutely demolishes the whatever number car.
Oh, the
that is.
11's doing some barrel rolls.
You know, he's upside down.
Good heavens.
Nobody is happy with the 11 right now.
I think the 39 won the race, but I don't even know.
I don't think anybody's happy with anybody.
Matter, Kyle.
What a funky ending.
A very weird ending to what was otherwise a very good race. I guess the race isn't over, actually. We still have another 2 laps left.
Oh, the
17 still running the guys back there.
Oh, man. They're just enjoying themselves now.
You know, sometimes you give them these practice races and get down to the end there and all hell breaks loose, and then it doesn't count for anything. Everyone's just having fun. I'm not sure how much the 17's having fun and how much it is that he's just legitimately pissed off, though, to be honest with you, Kyle.
I don't know at this point. Ugh, head-on collision there. It's a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah, so, I mean, how exactly do we commentate this is my question, right? I mean, are we watching a demolition derby at this point? Are we playing games to see who can be the lead car who hasn't lost his position due to being spun out? I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know what to. I don't really know what to say at this point.
Boyd's engine's blowing up. He's. Oh, they're all over.
Looks like the 39's trying to get the pace car to spin around too.
Yeah, someone should let him know that that's not how that works.
Oh boy.
Well, not that it really matters at this point, Kyle, because we had a hell of a race, and at this point, though, I guess we'll see who wins the race once we come around to the finish line.
Everybody is so angry.
I just don't know what to say.
There are absolutely 0 words for this, Kyle.
Oh, Ricky Bobby.
It's basically like if you saw the UFC fight on Saturday night when they jumped in the stands and everyone was fighting everyone all over the place. It's pretty much like that, except NASCAR.
Yeah, it's pretty much the
Maybe
exact
with a
same
little less
thing.
hatred.
I am so glad I came home.
They come out of turn 4 to the line. They touch. He turned him.
Oh!
The 17 and somebody won the race.
The 11 got pushed across.
Oh, my God.
Looks like the win's going to go to the 39. The 39's going to take the win there. Michael Budd.
Everybody's smoking.
God, man. Justin, I don't know what the hell happened with you in the 54 there, but that was going to be a good race.
Well, hopefully these drivers get some more practice in and don't overdrive the car too much going in the corner, especially underneath of somebody. We could get some really good racing out of this for the official race on Sunday.
Yeah,
It's a good track to run.
Yeah, I'm expecting a good race. Again, though, it's going to be difficult, especially on new tires, trying to pass a guy on the inside. I think that once you get to the end of the race, if you have a long run, the inside line will be a little more viable.
Boyd paid me.
Well, we put on a show for you guys, or what?
I didn't know what to say, but it was kind of funny. At first, we're like, wow, they're really pissed off at each other. And then we're like, you know what? I don't think that they're pissed off at each other. I think they're just messing around.
I was.
Yeah, we've figured that much.
He just
I couldn't stop laughing.
he just drove into me on the fucking pit stops, and I was just like, what in the fuck are you doing? And then that 11 dumped the 54, and I was just like, well, he's not winning the race.
Yeah, the 11 had no hope. He had absolutely no hope of completing that pass on the inside there and just dumped him.
No, well, I felt like I was in a good spot. I was first car on 4 fresh tires, and fucking I had Oliver up there to dump the field, and God knows he'll do it. Like, that was what my bet was on, because we were talking to Brendan, and I was just like, Brendan, back up. This is gonna be a mess. because Oliver's kind of an over-aggressive douchebag like that.
Yeah, I noticed last night at Daytona, over-aggressive definitely fits douchebag. May or may not fit.
He seems like a chill guy, but he's super, super over-aggressive. Like
It's just part of how things go sometimes, I suppose.
We're always going to have that one guy. I mean, I thought it would be me, not that guy.
I think you're low-key upset that it isn't you, Boyd.
I'm pretty upset, yeah. Because like, he's over here trying to pull Kyle Busch moves while he's Ricky Stenhouse.
Well, Kyle, overall, pretty good race. Pretty exciting action.
Oh, yeah. Pretty solid. I think there's just a few overdriving problems. I think if people get a better understanding of how to drive that situation, we'll have some really good racing in the Sunday race. So that's
hit a wall on the straightaway.
So that's going to be all, but you heard it from the drivers here. We should see some good stuff on Sunday, though. Like I said, thanks for joining us for this practice session. Thanks, Rob, for joining us as well.
Thanks for having me, man.
We love our new rules package as well. It's a very good car for racing, and it's pretty racy.
All right. Well, that's what we like to hear up here. And by the way, 4 wide, I want to see that again because that was awesome. I know you wrecked it, but that was sick. I liked it. It looked awesome. Just make it work. I know it can be made work. That doesn't make any sense. I know you can make it work.
We about lost our shit up here in the booth watching it. It was excellent. Even if it lasted about 5 seconds.
That's what I'm